Okay, guys, it's finally here. This is part 2 of the Thrill Mouse Moto New Mexico road trip, where we go from Georgetown, Texas to White Sands National Park, New Mexico. So the first episode you saw, we're in Roswell, New Mexico. This one is going to be all about being in Ruidoso Downs, which is where the Fox Animal Park is, and Goat Temple, and also just like Fox Cave, period. So we get to check that out. We got a pretty cool tour guide, Shawna. She's pretty much hosts like the whole second part of this episode. But before all that, we got some really cool ride footage. I mean, it's as far as ride footage goes, other than, of course, going through White Sands, which will be episode 3 of this. Those are lowriders we caught. You got to watch the first episode. There's some cool stuff. Not a lot of, a lot of cold night riding, but really just cool nightlife in Roswell. But this kind of shows just like some pieces of each type of, it definitely progresses on the views, and I would say for sure this episode is probably going to have the best views as far as just traveling and riding. So Ruidoso Downs, New Mexico. Thanks for watching. Thrill Mouse Moto. So we start off, if you watch the first episode, we pretty much crash out in Roswell. That's our first destination, and this is waking up the next morning on our way, hitting the road again. And our Ryker 600s. The Roswell chain snake. Watch out for them Roswell chain snakes. Thanks. That lowrider had some Roswell chain snakes. Some graboids, dude. Wait, doesn't that happen in Tremors? Like it grabs the back of their truck. The graboid grabs the back of the like the axle, the rear axle or whatever in the movie.
Bacon's in it.
Yeah. Well, now I'm hungry. Now I'm hungry for breakfast. So the front clock's it's a big time pro tip. It's like one of the first things I did. I didn't like the way the front closes like a little clicking thing or whatever. So throwing that lock in definitely was a big thing for me. A lot of people actually don't have it, but man, I like throwing stuff in there I don't want stolen, like sunglasses and stuff. But we do it up local. We don't go to Dunkin' Donuts or nothing like that. We go to this like Roswell donut shop. It's not super cool, crazy themed after alien stuff, but we did some of that stuff the night before in the first video. So I just wanted to go to a chill spot, and it was it's like a regular local mom and pop place. So, but it's just cooler doing something like that when we travel instead of going to like Dunkin's or Shipley's or something like that. Got to do, something different. Same thing with places to eat. Like we just try to go to places that, not trying to do fast food as much or whatever, but going to some places, we'll never get to try again when we go back home. But this is, like I said in the intro, you can just watch how like the view, you got some cool like folk art places like that we just saw. You get a lot of that in Roswell and this little scenery that you're seeing here. But like I said, it changes. You'll go from like this kind of flat, weird, scattered scenery that's out there, and then we get further, and then it's super flat with more desert. Oh, that's my favorite Roswell sign right there. That's obviously heading out more west. I think the first one we caught in the first video was similar to that one, but that one has like a spaceship that's like sucking up these cows. So that's definitely my favorite one, and it doesn't look beat down as the other one. But we never got a picture there. We should have, but we were taking so many pictures that it's kind of enough is enough, and we just got to get there. And that's kind of where we're at on day 2, which is episode 2, which is this one here. We're just trying to get there, minus when we spend a lot of time at Fox Cave. But there, like I said, as far as scenery goes, if people are watching this to see what the ride's like, it gets like that, and then it's kind of like a downer, but it gets way crazier later. And that's Ryan's throttle control hack. I was watching this footage again. I was like, wait a minute, how's he doing that? And it's his left hand, because he's a fool. But yeah, so this was kind of square. I was like, is it gonna look like this the whole way? We really didn't look anything up. We've never been down here like in cars or anything like that. We just knew that White Sands would be hella cool to drive the Rikers in and see what's up. And this is when it started. This one, we're like, okay, because it did not look like it was going to be like this when we were leaving Roswell. And we finally, because we were just going straight, like kind of like this right here. But this is when we start getting some guardrails up, which is pretty cool. And then some good turns. And this is like a cool cutout. And Ryan had a camera on him, so as far as cameras and stuff go, I want to say in this footage here, I have my DJI mounted on my helmet, the Osmo Action, and Ryan has a GoPro Hero 5, not the Session that I normally use. It's like one of the regular Hero 5s. So you might see a different in some of the views here. Of course, the DJI Osmo is going to be better than the 5 and probably the 6 too. I'm not sure. I can only compare it to the 5, but it's definitely my go-to. This is my first one. I actually have another one that I just got as far as real time goes today. Got it yesterday. So definitely doing more with it. I like it. Kevin, he has that Hero 9 now, but I think I'm just going to stick with DJI. I already got batteries for it and everything, and it still looks clean. And I only shoot in 2.7 anyway, so, and people don't seem to mind. But like I said, stepping it up, look at the hills and stuff right there. That's nuts, man. This is probably one of my favorite views here, because you can like look off to the left and then it just looks completely different. I mean, that's cool. We got stuff like that in Texas and, in our area here, but it's just not the same. And then you look, I mean, it's right there on the left. That's like a little lake or whatever. You wouldn't expect that by looking on the right. And look at all that green trees and stuff. It's because we're getting to like a territory where there's going to be, I think around this point, there was lots of turnoffs talking about other parks, like national parks and forests and things like that. I know the Lincoln one kept popping up a lot, and something similar to that too, but we didn't get a chance to do any of that. But it's also an excuse to go back again. And if you're wondering if we would do that again, yes, we would go do this again. Just even watching this footage was like, man. But we would do it again without the time constraint, because that was nuts. We did all of this going all the way to White Sands National Park and then back to Georgetown, Texas. It was like 2.5 days. I was back home, leaving home, and then back home. So that's kind of wild. Look at that one. I want to put that. Looks like a pyramid. I mean, that's crazy. It's too cool. I'm glad we both had cameras because we got some killer footage by doing it. And then as far as what we go to at this point is, when there's Ryan we were talking on the Senna, and he was calling it the Chiquita Banana Mustang, so I had to get a shot inside there. But this was completely spontaneous. Like I said, we're really just trying to get to White Sands National Park, and then we end up seeing the Fox Cave little entrance because it's got all kinds of cool little things up front. We end up pulling off. But this is like I want to at least add one stop in here, and that's when we see these like super hood dogs just scavenging around over here. I wanted to add this clip. Trying to tell Ryan not to stare at him to draw any attention.
Don't make eye contact with those dogs. And don't show your teeth.
I guess they just come look for food. They're aliens.
Very well distinct. They're just wearing a dog suit.
Hood dogs, man. Every little small town thing's got them. You always count on little tiny hood dogs like that, and then Family Dollars. That's pretty much the signs and symptoms there. But I mean, I like dogs and things like that, and probably feel bad for them. But when you ride these things like this, you draw attention to them, you try to touch them or give them something, and then they try to stick around, and I don't want to run one over, especially between the two of us. And I've learned that from like driving jobs and stuff like that too. When you see them on the side or when you get gas or whatever, you don't want them, it's just not safe when they get too close like that. But so that's a sweet view. You see there's a lot of cool views, but I'm trying to add the coolest ones to it. So anytime that there's like a pass where Ryan goes past me or I go past him, you probably noticed that by now, I like to put that in there, mainly because, and I don't know if we talked about this before, but when I first got my Ryker, or right before I was going to get it, whatever it was, there just was no footage of showing other people on Rykers. It was always like Moto vlog stuff where, you know, he's just like this view right here, but without Ryan there. So anytime I can get like a footage of another rider, whether it's Ryan or Kevin or whatever, I try to get them like real good so you can see. Because I remember I watched this one video and it was in the intro, it had it, and I watched just that intro like a million times. It was just like this. Actually, it wasn't even as good as this view right here. And the whole time I was like, I look like that because that guy looks cool on his Ryker. You know, it's like, why don't they show more views like that? So just a little background on why I do that a lot, because that's what I wanted to see as a viewer. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So, but that just shows me pointing out this cool little squiggly we're about to do. Because they do have that out there. So on top of being a good ride for views, going through this part of New Mexico, I mean, the ride is cool too. I mean, you can see that these are all just like turns and curves and stuff like that. Like I said, you got rocks to your right, you got green on your left. It's super cool. So I might do a video where you don't have to listen to me talk about stuff or whatever, and I can just like put music on it or something where it'll just be just my camera view without the fancy editing and stuff. So look forward to that. I'll add it to the same playlist. But that's when I spot Fox Cave and I'm yelling at Ryan on the Santa intercom saying, turn, turn, turn. Look at this. What is this? I mean, it's got all of like roadside attraction, tourist trap stuff. That's like Ryan and I's thing, man. You see like these goats, it's like a little animal farm thing, and they talk about like mining gems and stuff. That thing right there is like an egg with like a raptor coming out of it. Then you got these little hut things, and we talk about it later, but you can kind of see the yellow stripe on this, like just to my left, because this used to be the actual road, and that's Fox Cave right there. We talk about that a little bit later too, but just so you have a view now. It's like a weird overhang cave, and then they added that brick wall or stone wall that drops down, and then of course this little building in front of it. But look at that dinosaur. They got stalagmites, mites, cool stuff like that. So the rest of the video is pretty much spending some time in here. So I hope you enjoy it. Look at that gold rock. Look at that solid gold rock, dude. Need that for my bottom grill. Did you see look at these hands.
Yeah.
Look at that.
First thing I saw.
Look at that. There's all kinds of cool stuff, dude.
This has quite a bit of history. It was formed out of the river.
This is an actual cave.
Yeah, this is an
not
actual
like
cave.
a
It's a shell.
golf machete.
No. This was made out of the river, and if you look in some spots, you can still see the shells that are stuck in the rock.
So you're saying all this was underwater?
Yes, from the river that's across the highway. It was also used back in the 1800s as a hideout. So if we go back into here, where the big dinosaur print is, we will actually see, this is where they did most of their hideouts. You can see the suet on the rocks, and that's from the campfires over the years. And there's even a spot up there on the top that you can see that there was suet from the fires. So it's pretty cool.
Oh wow! Look at this guy. Trying to get a little down here. See, he's hiding out, man. He's hiding from his parents.
So actually, where you're standing was the 145-foot drop down into another cavern, and we're told that there was another room down there that Buck Owens played music. So after 2020, we hope to open this and see what's actually down there, but it was covered over by the previous owner.
Covered over by the previous owner. So you could walk to here, and then it would just be a big hole right here?
From my understanding, yes.
Wow. Wonder what even the process of covering over a giant cavern.
I don't know.
Yeah. Like, what is under here? Like, what would it take?
If you look up, I don't know how far it goes back. I'll let you get my stuff. I think that you can go back further, but I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, wow. I like that little guy up there.
I know, he's just sleeping up there. And that guy never made it.
So they were yeah, so like, it's like, what on the Goonies? What's
Goonies,
his name?
totally.
Copperpot or...
Yeah.
Wow.
These are molds from the real dinosaur prints that they found out somewhere. And they
Gotcha.
just made a plastic mold. I freaked myself out. We had merchandise underneath here, and I just happened to look up, and I was like, oh! You know, I'm underneath
this one here?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Man, that's too cool. You got a bunch of rocks.
I do, yes. Actually, a little something you might find interesting is the selenite, which might be really interesting. Find a good piece.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't know anything about rocks.
Okay, so I am told that this is what white sands is made out of. So I'll show you first. So if I hold it up like this, you can't see. But if I put it to the surface, it brings it to the
I remember
top.
that from.
Oh, it looks like a TV screen.
I remember that from geology in college.
So what?
Yeah, you can like magnify things with it.
It makes it look like.
Isn't that crazy? Because
This
of
will
the
also-
crystal structure is a bunch of like prisms going that way. So as soon as you put it on an object, it'll do that to anything. Isn't that crazy?
Nice.
And then those two holes up there, those are where the waterfall came out.
Oh,
And you can still see the vein that came down.
Oh.
So here's what it looked like inside in the 50s.
Oh.
And then this is the outside.
So this is where we would have drove by?
Yes, actually, if you go to the petting zoo and you walk close to the grass and you look down, you can still see some of the yellow line of the actual highway.
Oh yeah, I did see that petting zoo thing. It's like a mall, you know what I mean? Like there's like the jewelry person and there's a perfume lady. Well, that's way cooler like this.
This is Pat Garrett's attire. It was given to his great-great-grandson, and when he passed away of cancer, his wife came and donated all of his guns and stuff of Pat Garrett's. So the lady in the picture frame on the right is Pat Garrett's wife, and then the picture on the left, you can see, is Pat Garrett's great-great-grandson.
We never know. We just been like pulling over in different spots, and it's just like, see, we're gonna have our best footage from stuff where we just went, turn here! You know what I mean? And then
Okay, so the story on this, I wish my partner was here because he could tell you a lot more. He's into the mythology part.
Oh, nice.
This is a narwhal tusk, the main.
So he's gonna
piece
watch
here.
this video and he's gonna go, you did it wrong!
I did it
You forgot
wrong."
to tell him about the blah, 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 blah.
So-
she's doing her best,
I'm
man.
trying. In mythology, there's, and I could totally screw this up, and I apologize, but from my knowledge and my understanding is that the narwhal tusk was supposedly another form of the unicorn,
Okay.
and that's how it got its spiral. So this is actually, I think, a whale that has this sticking out of its head.
Uh-huh.
And
Wait,
so-
A narwhal, yeah.
Real
They're like a swimming thing.
Okay, because you had me was like, wait a minute, narwhals aren't real? Because you're talking about like the unicorns. I'm like, whoa,
In
I'm
mythology,
Houston Public School really
Yeah.
messed me up, dude.
they say that the unicorns were turned into a sea creature, and so that's how you got your narwhal.
So a narwhal is like a unicorn mermaid.
Yes.
That's
Something to that effect.
That's actually one of those.
Yes. Yeah. And
All of this?
no. So the two on the outside is elephant tufts,
Okay, cool.
and then the middle one is the narwhal.
Alright.
And I think they made it illegal to kill narwhals probably in the early 1900s, so it's pretty dated.
So yeah, so having one is like rare.
Yes, you have to have proper documentation and everything.
And then this thing here, people stand on top of this?
Oh yeah, you can sit on it.
Oh, where did this come from?
I don't know.
Oh. But it
You never know what you're going to find in here.
I just found out about it yesterday. I've been here for 2 years. I just pressed this button when I was cleaning it.
It was a bar, it was a restaurant at one time.
Like in the 80s or something.
Yeah, I don't know the dates, but it was.
Bar. It makes me think of, what is it, From Dusk Till Dawn?
Yep.
Because it was like a cave with the vampires and some movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this wall, it took 2 or 3 years, and there was only 3 men that built it.
Oh,
And they built this wall by hand.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff in there.
Yeah, chupacabra.
Oddities. There's the oddities.
shrunken heads.
Chupacabra.
These bats are from Indonesia.
Bats, that's a sore subject for 2020. But still pretty cool. We got bats in Austin. We're like one of the bigger colonies or whatever of bats. I don't know. Don't fact check that. But we get to check out the museum. Lots of Western cool outlaw stuff. That's that Pat Garrett's badge, like a sheriff badge. That's pretty official. And then that's one of his rifles. I think that little leather piece on the butt or the stock has like his little branding or something like that. That was kind of cool, or something he wrote on there. Weird little gun type stuff like that. And then the final resting place of Billy the Kid. No, that's like some wax little deal in a coffin. I thought it was a cool touch, Halloween type thing. Some crusty gun, and then bam, the Holy Grail. That's Elvis Presley's military issue jacket or coat. I don't know how you say that proper. But then, of course, you got to pair it with Denzel Washington's wardrobe from, what is it, Book of Eli? And then Willie Nelson's little saddle there has his name on it. This is wild stuff. It's a crazy collection of stuff once you get in this other room. Oh, that's OJ's, the juice.
Yes.
What? Is this the actual one, though?
Yeah.
Like, this is one that he should own.
It says right there.
Through such hard
Confiscate it.
Yeah.
Whoa! That's the coolest thing in this room. Wow, we got a piece of it. Look at that. That dude stays in trouble, man.
I think these are personal collections.
Oh, like they once had him, and then old Miss whatever came across him, just like OJ, and then then he bought them or whatever.
Right.
Well, I could take
Which
those off.
I'm so glad I wasn't part of. Little fun fact here. I'm Miss Heart of New Mexico from 2017.
Okay, slow down. We're speaking to who right now?
Miss Heart of New Mexico.
Miss Heart of New Mexico.
Yes.
And what, how many years is this?
2017.
2017. That's the other day. Wow.
The Miss America pageant, yes.
So, what was when you were part of that process, like what was like, you were up there watching the other people, like what was like one of the ones that, like a talent or something they were doing, you're just like, she just destroyed me. Like, do you remember that?
Yeah, I
like
did.
Someone like
It
just
was
like
somebody,
threw cards and cut bananas with playing cards.
It was singing, but she had like a Disney voice.
Oh, so she was like doing some Frozen stuff up there, and you were just like,
yeah, I wish I could do it. It's not me.
So it turns out we were getting a tour by a local celebrity here. So this is showing us like they have like Airbnb type setup and these other little hut type things. And this one here we're about to see is themed after like Area 51. So it has like a lot code type stuff. and we didn't have the keys to get into it, so we check it out through a little screen door. Same as we can't get into Area 51 either, so it's pretty authentic. Cool little alien themed stuff. There's like one on a surgery table. I mean, it looks like a lot of fun.
We'll have to do our escape room.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be staying here.
We actually have 4 rooms. So
I can escape any room.
the first room, you're handcuffed to church pews with authentic Lincoln County Sheriff handcuffs.
And then and one of us has the key inside of us.
Yeah,
And we have to choose to cut open Ryan or cut through our own arm. So that was probably like my 3rd horror movie reference that I don't think Shawna got. So I should probably stop using those around strangers. But look at this turtle, chonky turtle. Look, Black Phillip there hanging on the fence, and then Ryan gets like headbutted by this homie right here, which was pretty funny. We're actually trying to check out those little pigs. They're supposed to be like the smallest breed of pigs. I already forgot what they were called. I might put it at the bottom there. And then this dude, there's some little dudes that follow you around. This was like a rescue pony. She got her bangs lined up, looking good. And has a brother there too. That was another rescue pony. And then this guy, he's like a, man, I don't want to lie. I'll put it down there at the bottom. I'm pretty sure it's some type of African cow, but he's like super cool looking. And you can tell they like Shawna a lot. And look at this chunky boy right there. He's getting in the way. He's actually my favorite. He kind of follows us around too. And there's these cool little guys from New Zealand. I'll put that info at the bottom there too, because I don't want to mess it up. This homie right here, he's just like sleeping. He does not care that we're there. He doesn't subscribe to YouTube or anything like that. And like I said, this guy, he's just going to go anywhere Shawna does. But these are like rare things to have, not just like in New Mexico, just like in, the world. And that's the brother to the other pony there that they rescued. So these guys are the ones that run it. We get to chat with them for a little bit, and they drop some more info on us, which was pretty cool. It says escaping out of jail. But I mean, man, Fox Cave, it was a trip. If you plan on doing something like going to New Mexico, you should make this part of it for sure. But there are also a lot of info. We got to learn about the Lincoln Park or Lincoln National Forest, something like that. Lincoln Park's like a band, I think. And we get to do that. Or we don't do that. We want to do that. Everyone keeps convincing us to do some other stuff that is not this right here, which is White Sands National Park. So this is going to be in part 3, so stick around. It's going to come out a lot faster than this one did. We're going to let Shawna finish it off and drop some info on us.
On Facebook, it's Fox Cave, New Mexico. Also, we have the Fox Cave Animal Park and Goat Temple. And our phone number is 575-378-9954.
Wait, tights are the ones that come from the top?
Yeah, they hold on tight. It's like mice.
Hold
They're
on.
big and mighty.
Oh, we got that on film because that's some learning from home.
It is.